Hello and welcome to Third Act Film. Today, we're discussing Game of Thrones. I don't know why that was funny, but we are. We are discussing Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We love it, okay? We absolutely love it. We've done several videos on one show.
Yes.
We do movies plus Game of Thrones.
Pretty much.
That is it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what we do. We love this show so much, but there's a few questions we've got.
Oh, there's a few.
There is a few. Here with me is Todd James.
Hello.
I'm James Forbes.
Hello, James Forbes.
Okay, so I feel like I've been watching a lot about this kind of idea. J.J. Abrams, he actually did a TED talk about the mystery box. You may have heard about this.
Yes.
And the whole idea that, it's the age of the cereal, not as in,
Breakfast cereal.
Yeah, as in a series. They cannot answer anything ever. So we're looking at some of the questions that we want. And that's the whole reason we're watching this damned show.
This damned show.
Question number one for me.
Before this, I want to get one thing out there. We are big fans, but we don't know every name. I know you've got the list open in front of you.
I've got a list of character names.
Even so, this is more just covering my back. We're probably going to get some wrong or pronounce them wrong. Please don't be too mean.
Mance Raider.
Well done. Brilliant. But I just want to get that out there. We're probably going to say some things wrong.
All right. Okay.
Question one.
Question one. Now, we've already done... I'm going to collate them here.
Perfect.
We've done several videos, several different predictions and malarkeys like that. This one with just the focus of questions that we don't have the answer and we can't really... we can guess, but there's no real proof leading to it.
God forbid we read a book to help us. Right.
Is Stannis dead?
Oh, God, I hope not.
Then we've said this before, Game of Thrones ain't shy. It ain't shy.
No.
It ain't shy to
Certainly
a bit of violence. And they didn't show us.
They cut away at the exact moment of his death, in inverted commas.
Yeah.
And Stannis, you know this. He's my man. I love Stannis. I love his no-nonsense approach.
Yeah.
Like, in his mind, he was right. It doesn't matter. Who is this other person? Not important. I'm Stannis.
Yeah.
And I miss him. Or I will miss him if he's not there.
Now, is he alive? Is he alive? Is he alive? We need to know this answer. And is it a sense that they've left it unopened because later on in the season, imagine the penultimate episode of the season and then Stannis comes back.
Yeah.
And say Jon Snow's back alive.
Sure.
Jon Snow's back alive and then he's like, let's go to war. And Stannis like, maybe you'll need...
Stannis.
My help. Yeah, maybe you need a bit of Stannis.
Why don't we stand this together?
Yeah. And they get involved. But then I think this is all pipe dreams. And I think he probably is dead.
Yeah, he's probably dead, which is a shame.
And I think the way it will be answered is that he will never be mentioned again.
Or you'll see just his burning funeral pyre. Yeah. And someone will be like, well, that's a shame. Yeah. And then that's the last time he's ever mentioned. Yeah. Which means the Baratheon line is not in a good way. It's in fact it's gone. No.
Well, you got a lot of bastards, ain't you? Well,
true, plenty. Speaking of which, question 2.
Speaking of
where
bastards,
the hell is Gendry?
Yeah.
And was it 2 seasons ago? Yeah. We saw him rowing off into the distance.
Yeah.
And that was the last we ever heard.
I'm fairly sure that the next time we'll see him, he will be rowing a boat, and they'll just do it as an inside joke. To suggest he's been rowing the whole time.
Even though he's obviously not.
Is that he's just been living offshore somewhere. And
he's like really skinny, like loads of facial hair. It's like, but like
massive
really muscly arms. And the rest of him is really skinny. Yeah.
I think that the story's so complicated and packed already that when they were like, oh yeah, Gendry, are you really going to waste time? Because that's another location. He's going to be somewhere else. Are we really going to waste time sitting there and being like... Now, Gendry, after all of that happened to him, he then became a fisherman and now he's met a girl.
Like, are they going to use one of 10 episodes to do like the Gendry catch-up episode?
Yeah.
Probably
I think that it's just going to be, he's going to be back somewhere, and he's like, yo, what up? And then as well, what more can they use him for? They already used his blood. They've already used his name. The Baratheons don't matter anymore. He has no claim to the throne that the Lannisters will ever entertain. He is, again, a nobody, which a lot of these characters are, but he has no skill set. He has no...
Excuse me, he's a blacksmith.
You're right.
He has a fantastic skill set. And I've got to correct myself. I said the Baratheon line is in a bad state. Technically, Tommen is Baratheon.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, technically he isn't. But on his birth certificate, it says Tommen of House Baratheon.
Yeah, you're right.
So where's Gendry?
Yeah, where is Gendry?
I want him to turn up at Bravos, just like, where the hell am I?
Yeah.
And then him and Arya can be like, hey, we're buddies again.
Or it would be hilarious if he's with the Dothraki, like, joined them. And then he meets up with Dany. It's like, when are you supposed to be there? And he's like, where have you been?
Hey!
Yeah.
Right, what's next?
Speaking of where have people been, where is Rickon?
Right.
Rickon Stark.
Isn't Rickon at Winterfell?
No.
No? Who's at Winterfell?
No one. There's no Starks at Winterfell.
Yeah, I think Rickon's at Winterfell, just running things as like a 4-year-old.
No, the Boltons have Winterfell.
Oh yeah.
And then Reek, he killed the two Stark boys, but one went north, and then the other one went with a wildling woman whose name escapes me.
Osha?
That it's not even. Yeah, sure.
Right. And now Bran's under a tree. Where's Rickon?
Yeah, where is Rickon? Full stop. And are they going to change the actor? Because the last time I saw the actor, he was in San Andreas, and he doesn't age. He must be about 18 now, and he looks still quite. 12.
Yeah, but and on the other side, Bran's like 6'4" now. He's like
what the hell?
He's like a man now.
He smashed through puberty.
Yeah, man Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where Rickon is. I'd like to know. I'd like just one little scene, just of him like playing chess or something, just being like, "Hey guys, I'm alive still." Yeah.
And a lot of these characters have gone missing. It's not that I missed them, and it's not like they were like hugely important to the plot.
Like after every episode, you were like, "Where's Rickon?"
Yeah.
Right.
And it's kind of an afterthought. But I would like to know, like get some closure on that.
Get rid of some of that Dorne stuff. and give us some Rickon.
And fill this in, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got another question?
I have. This is the one where I'm worried about not knowing any names. Who's going to be Lord Commander of the Night's Watch? Specifically, if Jon Snow comes back, who's Lord Commander? Because if he's like, well, I'm back, does he just re-get his title? Like, who's in charge?
Yeah, who is in charge?
Because remember, more than half the people voted for him to be the Lord Commander. Right?
Yeah.
So, surely, there's at least a third of the people who are still like, oh, Jon Snow, good guy.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be that gruff guy who was leader of the people who killed him. Not Ollie. The other one, whose name escapes me.
Alistair Thorne?
Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, that's just a interesting question for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is Alistair Thorne, yeah. You may have realised I was Googling.
I could see that happening, yeah, I did realise that.
I think it'll just hand down to Alistair Thorne. I think, because because it literally ended on Jon Snow's death. We don't know the aftermath. How are people going to react? There's going to be a lot of people. More than half of them voted for him, so more than half of the people are going to be a bit like, "Whoa, what the hell, man?"
Yeah.
Like, geez, like,
what the hell, man?
Yeah,
yeah.
But then equally, are they just going to be like, "Yeah, but saw it coming"? I wouldn't be that surprised if I was living on Night's Watch. No. I'd be like, yeah, I'm living with a bunch of criminals.
Yeah, the worst people in the world all put together in one place.
And then they hate one person in particular, and then they killed him. I'd be like, oh, right. Who are we voting for now? Oh. And then I think this may be an opportunity for them to introduce a new character or to incorporate the wildlings perhaps, and the guy with a massive red beard.
Tormund Giantsbane?
Yeah, Tormund. To get him involved.
He's like, I put my candidacy forward.
Yeah. And then perhaps the wildlings doing favours for the Night's Watch to get popularity, and then
I guess they are the only two groups that know the real threat.
Yeah.
So why would they not?
Yeah. And I think as well, perhaps it's even that the wildlings are like, why don't we just take this place?
Yeah.
Why don't we just...
especially if there's a large group of Jon Snow supporters still there.
Yeah.
And they're like...
We agreed with Jon Snow and his vision and his understanding of the bigger threat. Tormund also understands it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a wildling, but he didn't...
Wildlings just want to survive. Yeah. And I bet if they think, if we team up with a third of these guys, get rid of the rest, then we not only have we got this swanky castle to live in, but like we got this sweet stronghold.
Yeah. I could imagine that happening, but the whole aftermath to that's going to be interesting. Yeah. And I'm predicting now, episode 1 will not have Jon Snow in it.
It'll have his body in it.
I don't think it will have even the wall, any of that. I think they'll just focus.
Yeah?
I think they're going to tease this out. They can't just, next episode, and he wakes up like, oh, wow, thank God that didn't happen. Oh, I'm back alive immediately.
If they had no Jon Snow, no Daenerys, and no Tyrion in the first episode, that would be brave. I'd watch it.
Yeah, I think everyone's like, well, what?
Yeah.
My next question.
Yeah.
What's up with the dragons? And we're kind of going all over the place here, but the last time we saw the dragons, 2 of them, they were locked up underneath the capital. Marine. And in the most recent trailer, we see that Tyrion, who does a very nice quip when he says, I drink and I know things.
Doesn't he always?
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. But what is going to happen there, and how are they going to respond to like Tyrion? Like, how does he know? I believe in the comics. Comics? Oh my god!
Wow.
Sorry, we've been doing a bunch of comic book films. In the books,
yes,
Tyrion has a lot of dreams about dragons. He has a huge interest in dragons, and he is very well versed anyway. But he has particular interest in reading about dragons.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because there's a whole kind of underlying thread with the books of the dreams that people have. So the Starks typically have dreams about wolves.
Yeah.
And then the Targaryens typically have. And that also leads to the whole fact, is Tyrion's a Targaryen?
Whoa!
But he may just have a natural interest in dragons.
Yeah.
And I think they'll probably just, along with that line where he's like, yeah, I know about dragons. None of us are going to be like, what? You didn't set this up in season 1. We're all going to be like, yeah, it's Tyrion.
Yeah, dragons, yes.
Yeah.
He reads books.
And I think now that he knows dragons are real, and he knows all the material that he's read probably has more truth to it, that he might be in a position to control them. I don't know. But it'll be that's I'm interested to see what will happen with those 2 dragons in particular.
Yeah.
Will they be used as
will he be able to tame them? Will he be able to? Yeah.
Or a symbol of hope. Yeah.
Whoa, deep. I've got one, a very specific one, which you're not gonna know what I'm talking about. There was an episode, I think it was in season 2 or 3, so we're going back a bit, where Varys had a scene with Tyrion, and he was talking about the guy who castrated him, and he had this crate, and he was telling him about the guy who tortured him and castrated him. And then he opens up this crate, and there's a guy in there.
Yeah.
What happened with that? Like that's fascinating.
I think that's part of it, isn't it?
Where's this guy?
I think that's the answer. That he is so powerful in a different way.
Yeah.
That he is able to, anyone who has ever hurt him in the past, he is able to talk to his little birdies, and he has this infrastructure of knowledge.
Yeah.
And can get things done. I think the point of him saying that story was to exhibit how well connected he is.
Right. That he could get a man, because it was meant to be on Essos that way it happened. So he got this guy to travel halfway across the world in a crate.
Yeah.
But I just want to know. I think there was more to it. I didn't look at it as this is just him being like, yeah, I can do stuff. Yeah, like, don't mess with me. I think it was I
don't know. I think it does help with his character. Now that he's kind of lost that network, is he able to create a new one?
Hasn't.
I suppose so. Yeah,
he's Varys,
and he already has a network in Essos because
Yeah.
he's been tracking a lot of what's been going on. But yeah, I think his whole character is fascinating. A lot of fascinating characters in this, as we all know. My next question: when will Sansa do anything?
Never. Next.
Yeah.
I remember at the end of season 4 when she came down, she was like black hair, some like slinky black number. Everyone was like, "Oh, finally, she's going to come into her own." And then she was just the same mopey, boring, like character who if she died, I would not feel anything.
Yeah,
maybe relief.
Wow. I think she's in a very important position. Her name, mainly and only, really, is important to a lot of people still in the North. That Littlefinger is obviously using her for that as well. But I think she can, just a few ticks can change.
But interesting things happen around her.
Yeah, definitely.
People use it, but that's just like, she's just a MacGuffin for other people to be interested.
She has been dragged around a lot and abused a lot.
When is she going to actually do something?
I know, I'm hoping it's this season, but I feel like I'm being naive.
Yeah.
If I said this for season 5, probably, and I'm not sure it will again, but I just want her to do something. I wonder, again, in the books, there's a storyline with Sansa and the Stark's mother, Catelyn Stark, that she becomes reincarnated and she becomes Lady Stoneheart, I believe.
Right, yeah.
And then she seeks revenge for anyone who's ever hurt the Starks, basically, and is a complete badass, and everyone loves her.
Sure.
And they haven't done this in this storyline. I think more so deliberately to make Jon Snow's death more shocking, because we've only seen resurrection once, and even that was a bit iffy as to was he actually dead. Right. And he claims that he's died several times, but he might have just been very injured, and then healed. And I think if you then had Lady Stoneheart, then everyone would be like, well, they brought her back, so just bring back
resurrections
everyone.
Left, right, and centre.
Yeah, just res her up. But I think they've deliberately left that out, but they may use elements of Lady Stoneheart's storyline in with Sansa to allow Sansa to be a better character and for her to get some revenge. And
I still think she's just going to be just as boring.
Yeah, that's probably the truth.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Have you got any more?
I haven't, I'm afraid.
I've got several more.
Let's just roll them off, mate.
Is Dorne gonna be killed or slaughtered?
Dorne, the country.
Yeah.
Will the country die?
Yeah.
I want there to be war in Dorne.
Yeah.
I want something exciting, because I remember when the first Dorne stuff started coming out, all the people who read the books were like, "Oh, you guys are in for a treat." It was by far the least interesting thing that's ever happened on the show. So if Jaime Lannister takes an army there, that's what I want to see.
Yeah. I do wonder, what seems to happen a lot of times is we're all like, yay, good guys. Oh, they keep getting knocked down. But one day, maybe.
Right.
And for this kind of storyline, Lannisters are typically the bad guys, and they're always...
Yeah.
But then they always win. You know, they literally have the king, and they have so many things have gone their way. And sometimes it's a setback, but I think we all agree that for this season, season 6, a lot of people are going to die.
Oh, yeah.
A hell of a lot of people are going to die. A lot of people in King's Landing are going to die.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Dorne are going to die.
I hope so.
And I wonder if other things play out. So for the Boltons, who are allied with them, and those two being the main antagonists, will say if Sansa, gets the courage, gets an army, or even Jon Snow resurrects and he's like, I'm going to take back Winterfell for no reason, and or Peter Baelish, who's been given permission from the Lannisters to take it over, perhaps, because the Lannisters, you can't be too stretched. They already have, name escapes me, but where they're from. Castle Rock or something?
Castle Rock, yeah.
Castle Rock. And in order to take over Dorne, they can't just go in, kill them all, and then just leave it. They'll need to put in someone into
put a flag down like there.
America. I mean Lannisters. Yeah. I would imagine possibly if they allow Peter Baelish to take over Winterfell, and then they take in the bones like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. Why didn't you take over Dorne for us and look after that and retire, live in the sun?
Yeah.
And just be bastards again, but down there.
Yeah.
Or perhaps another one of their allies, maybe Birds and the Rose. Oh God, Tyrells. Perhaps the Tyrells.
The Birds and the Rose.
There's so many characters in this.
Yeah.
When you're watching the show, you're like, oh, that's thingy. You're like, bang, bang, bang. But then when it's a year out, it's a bit etchy on the brain. But I just wonder about Dorne. Are they all going to be killed? Are they going to have to submit? Because the king's a bit passive as well.
Yeah, but they also don't give up easy. I feel like they're not just going to be like, roll over and be like, here you go, here's our soft underbelly. Yeah. They'll put up a fight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the political play of controlling Westeros again.
Yeah.
Another question: in what episode will Drogon come back? Because he's coming back.
Oh yeah, well he's alive and stuff.
He's alive and stuff.
The way it normally happens is like episode 2 or 3, you get like a good money shot.
Yeah.
And then in like 5 or 6, you get a money shot.
Yeah.
And then in either 9 or 10, there's like a good sequence.
And he'll come and save. We're dotting all over the place again, but with Daenerys Targaryen being captured by the Dothraki, I can imagine they'll need her to display some form of strength in some way.
Dothraki follow strength.
And then Drogon will come along with like, well, I'm way stronger than all of you, and I could kill every single one of you, and I follow her.
Especially the dragons get twice as big every series.
Yeah, I love
he's
that.
He's gonna be a big lad now.
He's gonna be huge. Cannot wait to see him. And I'm wondering as well, because it's difficult because of their budget and how expensive it is to get the dragons, I can imagine. I do want some time with just Daenerys and Drogon, them to develop a bond rather than just her. It's like her with an abusive boyfriend, almost like.
Right. Anytime she's in trouble, he's there like, ah.
Yeah.
And then any other time, it's like, I will eat your face.
Yeah. He's quite mean to her. Yeah. And can they ever, maybe he was in his teenage years. Mm-hmm. He was very dependent on her when he was younger.
Yeah.
Teenage years is a bit bratty.
Yeah.
Now that he's bigger, will he calm down and just be like, oh, do you want to fly on me? Oh.
That's fine.
Oh, you want me to kill all your enemies? Oh, why didn't you say?
It's communication. It's important. Yeah.
And I wonder,
she's going to become better at controlling him. For sure. I mean, they've already had him come and rescue her from what was the fighting pits in Marine.
Yeah.
So the psychic connection is definitely growing.
Yeah. And a kind of follow-up question with this whole Dothraki thing, will the Dothraki follow her this time? Like, all of them. Because last time, they kind of splintered off with her own group who followed her. Will she be able to be in charge of the Dothraki? And how much more of these things can she have? She'll have the dragons, the Unsullied, the Second Sons, is that their name?
Sure.
I think it's I forget because they have a different name in the book. But yeah, Second Sons, and the Dothraki.
All the people as well.
And just the people in Marine who worship her.
Yeah.
The people in Essos who worship her, because the Red Priests are all going out saying how she's the chosen one. Yeah, how much more stuff does she need in order to take over King's Landing?
How many more obstacles are there going to be before she's like, well, time to cross the ocean?
Will this season end with her crossing that damned ocean?
Every time I'm like, this is the year. This year.
Yeah. And then she's like, oh no, I'm lost. And
I stubbed my toe. I can't go.
Yeah.
Any more?
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
When will we see the point to Arya's storyline? I'm being a bit critical here, but it's more out of frustration of storylines being stretched out.
I know that you were very unhappy at her last season that she spent half of it washing bodies, and the other half like looking at the dark room.
Yeah,
and I get that, But I think she's going to become a bit more action orientated.
Yeah.
She's actually, because I mean, at the end of last season, she started to do stuff when she killed Maren Trent, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think she's going to start to actually do stuff.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to hide in the form of somebody we know. Maybe Jon Snow. What if Jon Snow comes back and it's Arya the whole time?
That'd be insane.
Yeah, that would be
just like, you look different.
like we've had a year and a half of thinking it's Jon Snow, and then she's just like bloop, pulls her face off
the whole time. Yeah. I don't know. I think, yeah. I don't like. She has her own subplot, revenge plot, but I can't see down the road how it links back in with the main plot of either the War of the Dawn or
on another continent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even when she comes back to King's Landing, she can pick off, but she'll just be an assassin that can kill 1 or 2 people. She doesn't have a following. She doesn't have an army. She doesn't have political manipulation. She doesn't have any of that. She is just one assassin.
Is it just going to end up with her sitting at Winterfell like, well, that was an interesting couple of years?
Yeah. How can you ever end her story satisfactory? I can't say
in a satisfying manner.
In a satisfying manner. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I hadn't really thought of it, but she is very removed and distant from the whole story. All. Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting. It's kind of his own story, and how she doesn't have an identity. How many different names has she had throughout Game of Thrones? You know,
some.
she's constantly been called something else and been someone else. She's been a boy for a bit. She's been a girl for a bit.
Yeah,
she's been homeless. She's been rich. She's done it all. But how does it link back in? How is she going to help anyone? Even Sansa Stark's character can help push the story along more so than Arya. But yeah. What is Littlefinger's plan?
I don't want to know that.
I don't
want to know until the very end. I want to be like, what's the music at the end of Saw? Like every time there's a twist at the end of a Saw film, it has the same music. Like, I want the whole thing to end with just him coming out on top, everyone dead around him, and that's it. He won, because that seems the most likely option.
Yeah.
Maybe with Varys by his side, being like, well, we can never trust each other anymore.
Yeah. I just I wonder. So you got the different kingdoms. You got the 7 kingdoms.
Sure.
And he is sitting bang tidy on a lot of them. I'm just trying to remember the names, aka Googling each area.
Perfect. Right.
But he owns the what's the valley called? The Erie?
The Erie, yeah.
And then
he's got that on lock. That's the one he literally is in charge of.
Well, he's got Robin is in charge of, but he's in charge of Robin.
Sure.
So he's got a connection to that. River Run, I think, is the other one that he had a connection to. And then he's now been given permission from King's Landing to take over Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
How does he have a connection to River Run? Is that just because... I can't remember now.
I don't know. I know he owns the north because he runs Sansa, and Sansa, if she gets back in charge, that's like half the continent is his then.
Yeah. But if he's able to take Winterfell, have River Run, what else? How can he? What else can he influence? Perhaps he's already got a relationship with the Tyrells. And who else can he ally with to basically outnumber what the Lannister has as their own or has allied to?
The Iron Islands.
Yeah. That's another one, yeah.
Yes.
But I don't see the connection. But I feel like Iron Islands you can't really rule anyway. It's all just pirates. So it kind of is unruly and no one cares, not even the storyline for like 3 seasons so far. But can he... Yeah, how can he get involved and outnumber?
Yeah.
And then as well, is his end goal to get a claim on the throne and be king? Or is it that he wants his heir to be king? Or is it that he wants...
He's never really been an outnumber kind of guy, though.
Yeah.
Just like more and more power. I feel like he's not... He definitely doesn't want to be the king.
Yeah.
but he just wants to control it.
Yeah. That's it. That's all.
It.
That's all the questions I. There's a lot more,
Also, we didn't address is Jon Snow coming back, because we did a separate video on that. If that's the big one you were wondering about, we have spoken about that.
We have spoken about that. We'll just other kind of questions that's been lingering and we want to know about. But what questions you have for Game of Thrones that you hope will be answered in the next season, it won't be.
No.
But whatever you hope will be answered in the next season, do let us know in the comments below. I've been James Forbes.
And I've been Todd James.
Bye.
You know what I'm saying?
It's coming down.
That
wall is coming down at some point.
Yeah. It is coming down.
From showing her, like, just chopping him in half.
Yeah. Game of Thrones ain't shy to that. Oh, yeah. You know that woman that everyone spat on and walked down naked down the street? Yeah, she's now in charge.